and some of the neighbors suddenly turned white. No, no, Caucasians, no! Alright, and there is your warning. Alright, welcome back to another video. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for me to finally be uploading another video. So the last video that I did was me eating the ghost pepper, and I'm finally trying to put more effort into my scheduling, schedule and planning for the videos. So I got this all like recorded. I'm gonna be editing and trying to finally keep it consistent. But that's besides the point. You see, I was scrolling down on Steam, trying to check for a free game that I could play for the channel, until I saw Bring Me That Shawarma. So I don't think this game has a main menu because I wanted to show. Alright, no, I don't. Wait, am I stupid? Did I press? Did I already click the? Okay. I think this is it then. So, I don't know anything about this game, gotta be honest. I just saw it as a visual novel that has some horror, sad parts, and as you guys saw at the beginning, there's a warning. So I don't want to do this intro for too long, so let's just see what we got over here. So we got the episode selection with the main bonus. I pressed bonus, I don't know. Let me just try to press it again. Oh, there we go. So you got some different stories here. Comedy, alright. And now in English. Wait, so this one is not in English? I think. Oh, okay. October one. Hold on, let me just see which one is the first one that got released before I press anything. So the first one is just called Bring Me That Shawarma. They have one here that's actually older, but it says translation in progress because this game is like a Russian game. So this is the first one that I see. It's a horror trash. Let's just press start. And let's see if this game is scary. Alright. Finally. Oh, sorry, hold on, let me try. Finally. The first order after 4 grueling hours. Alright, we got the Courier app, food delivery, $10. But my time is over soon. I'd much rather just sit till the end. Unfortunately for me, now I have to go somewhere for an order. What's wrong with this life? I've been working properly for a year and I was doing my best. But in the end, no orders, no money, and clients complain all the time. What's the point of this Courier rating if there aren't many orders anyway? Flexible work schedule, high income, bonuses and discounts in restaurants. Sounds like a dream job. Bullshit. I don't even have money for rent. And the problems with clients are more absurd after the other. The navigator can't find the right house, or the customer cancels the order when I'm already halfway there. People act like they don't want their food at all. Oh, that's such... Wait. Recently, I made a delivery to an upscale neighborhood. At the entrance, I met the concierge, but she didn't want to let me in. I immediately called the customer and he flatly refused to come get the food himself. Our company's support service was no help to me either. From the beginning, I didn't like the concierge. She looked like she'd been a patient in a nut house who was released yesterday. Not to mention her eyes were sly, like the damn bald dude who put dill in my shawarma once. Never mess with the dill, man, that's fucked up. She had clearly gathered all the wisdom of this life, rolled the joint out of it and smoked cheekily in the face of anyone who had the audacity to cross her path. I couldn't and didn't want to trust her, but I had no choice. I couldn't think of anything better than to bribe and ask her to deliver the order to the customer. Of course, she kept both the money and food, so I got fined. But in this case, the customer's behavior and complaint can still somehow be understandable. Man, this story goes deep, man. Once, the restaurant forgot to put napkins in the bag, and so the customer complained to support that I had stolen them. What? Wait, what was that? I didn't see that. What was that? Genius. There's nothing more to say. Wait, can I go back in? Oh, what the fuck is that? That's a little mouse. Why? Oh no, I swear to God, if that's like the horror mascot, I'm out of here, man. Genius. There's nothing more to say. The jerk off could have the jerk off? Hey yo, what are you doing to me, man? Just hold on, wait. I just work here, man. The jerk off could have checked the receipt and asked me, since there are always a couple of tissues in my pockets. For what purpose? As you've already understood, the Courier is always to blame. Of course, the strongest foundation of success are built from the stones thrown at you. But my nerves seem to give up before they are built. This time I was lucky, and everything went without incident. But in the end, I'm still not particularly happy about it. It feels like I'm earning less and less every day. What's next? Will they stop giving me shifts? I think it's time to consider changing jobs. As a last resort, I could try to get a position at a newly opened vape shop. 19 minutes till the end of my shift. I might as well start walking slowly towards home. Huh? Wait, what's this? An order of 20 shawarma and one as a gift? One as a gift? That is a total of 20 warms. That is a total of 21 shawarmas. 21. Oh my God. 21 is my lucky number. The stars have aligned. This is clearly a sign. A sign that it's too early to leave this job. After accepting the order, I went to the shawarma restaurant to pick up the food. The Rot Bar, a typical Oleg. I finally arrived. Rot Bar, typical Oleg. Of Oleg, I don't know. Oh wait, so we're Roman. How is the large shawarma order coming along? Half of it is already done. The rest will take another 15 minutes. The order's pretty big, so no wonder it's not ready yet. I might as well order a coffee and talk to the cashier. I always wondered why the sign changed to grill to rot. It's a long story. It's not like I'm in a hurry. Fine. Then listen. Listen up. Listen to me here. You gotta listen. There once was a businessman named Oleg. He didn't care. Okay, sorry, I got a Steam notification of my friends playing some game, so luckily it doesn't pick up in the recording. He didn't care what he invested his dough in, as long as Oleg was in the name. That's how this place came to be. At first, everything was fine, but over time the management began to save on ingredients and the quality of the shawarma deteriorated. An act of rebellion was staged by school children who constantly kept correcting the word grill to rot on the sign. The phrase I loved you, Oleg has become a local meme. Wait, am I just reading this wrong? Or hold on, just give me one more try. The phrase I loved you, Oleg has become a local meme. An act of rebellion was staged by school children who constantly kept correcting the word grill to rot on the sign. The phrase I loved you, Oleg has become a local meme. Well, I mean, it's translated from Russian, right? So I can't be too hard on it. So, the quality of the shawarma here is a so-so. Yep, but I didn't tell you that. But who would want to order so much shawarma from so far away? Surely there are better shawarma restaurants in that area. And what kind of address is this? I've never been there before. Where exactly did the order come from? Nizhny Potsuk Street. I'm sorry, right? Listen. I'm just a Dutch boy speaking English playing a Russian game. Just cut me some slack here. Instead of the cashier's voice, I heard a different one from somewhere behind me. When I turned around, I couldn't even immediately see the person who was talking to me. Hey kid, it's a very dangerous neighborhood. I really want to do like the old man voice, but I can't do it. You should stay out of it. What's wrong there? Real evil is taking up residence there. What do you mean? The reptiloids had their eye on this place a long time ago. I know this since I lived nearby. It all started with strange animal behavior and those damn magnetic storms. The sun was in there every 11 years active phase, and then those damn aliens heard every word I said. But how are these things related? You don't know such simple things, little kid, so listen here. On days like these, when you say something, the solar wind picks up your words and converts them into vibration of torsion fields. The alien tentacles pick up these vibrations. But you said they were reptiloids. Where do they get tentacles? And in general, torsional fields are completely nonsense. Live longer than me, as you'll understand, kid. That this world is more complicated than running around with orders, young scumbag kid. Hey, what are you calling a young scumbag kid? I deliver shawarmas. Have some respect. Don't tell me what to do, Granddad. Hold on, can I pause the game? Because the sounds are pretty... Oh, yeah, there we go. I noticed an ominous glint under his hat. Oh no, it looks like you pissed him off. What makes you think that? If his artificial eye comes out of his socket, it's not good. It is said that in tense argument it flies out and can even cause a wound like a bullet. What are you whispering about, Greens? And where is this world headed if young people have a soaked bottom of shawarma instead of brains? Once you see a doggy round dance, you know what Granddad was talking about. Look, sir, I graduated. Order for 21 shawarmas ready. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful but kind of weird cashier. You rescued me in time. What? Okay, hold on. Don't call her weird or beautiful. What's happening? She just told you the origin of Oleg. And okay, sure, man. 21. They're having a party, man. I know what I'm talking about. Shawarma is very popular with them. It's all they eat. It's like nutrition bars. Listen to me. Drop everything and run away while you're still alive. In my haste, I packed the order into my bag. Yo, I'm skedaddling, dude. All the shawarma fit in the backpack except for one. What to do? Tamp it down a little more? Nah, it's already full. If I press down any harder, the shawarma's bottom will burst. Since there was no free space in the backpack, I just put the last one in the pocket of my jacket. It wasn't deep, which made the shawarma stick out of it halfway. I hope I don't lose it somewhere along the way. I hurried to the exit, while the old man kept talking. The shawarma flopped from my pocket onto the floor, so I stopped to pick it up. Look, you're going to bring an offering right into their clutches. Are you ready to betray the human race? I don't know why his shirt says dead inside and then across the A and inside, so I don't know if there's like a lore reason, but it just says dead, D-E-D, dead. I'm so sick of this dude, man. Show Granddad where the crayfish spent the winter. Nah, I'm just gonna grab the shawarma and I'm gonna get out of here. I don't want any beat. Like, if his eye can shoot out and do damage like a bullet, dude, I get paid too less for this shit, man. Don't notice the old man's mistake. It's useless to replant an old tree. Guided by this simple truth, I ignored the old man and just walked away. On the way, I kept thinking about what he had said. Not that those words made an impression on me, but I also noticed that strange things were happening around me as of late. There was a story on TV. I don't really watch it much, but sometimes I turn it on in the background while I'm playing Digger online. There's always some conspiracy nonsense on, and usually I don't even get into what's playing. But at the time, the absurdity of the story caught my attention. There was a report about a girl who had her shawarma stolen right off her hands by aliens. She was walking in the park one evening, enjoying her meal, when suddenly they, flying overhead, took the shawarma with their light beam. When suddenly they flew overhead? Okay, let's just continue. Bullshit! Does anyone really believe what is shown on that channel? But after today, I can guess who does. Oh, and the music is gone. That story isn't too concerning, but the distorted screams that sometimes come from the alleys at night. That story isn't too concerning, but the distorted screams that sometimes come from the alleys at night, I don't even know how to describe them. I don't like the sound already, gotta be honest. It's like someone is shouting, more likely yelling in different keys, and it gets interrupted. His fragments are looped, rewound, and distorted, just like in some kind of game with a lot of bugs. It makes me wonder if our world is just a matrix, but I reassure myself that maybe it's just some wandering DJs having fun. And doubting my own reality goes against my beliefs. But that's not all the weirdness I've noticed. I live on the first floor, and I'm used to having people hanging around under my windows all the time. Why did that scare me? What the fuck is that? Is that like that's like an eye and a nose? Alright, man. Every Tuesday, from 4 to 6 in the afternoon, a pensioner at my apartment complex stares through the window. At first it annoyed me, but then I decided to look at the situation. As it befits me from a philosophical point of view. Philosophical point of view, yeah. After all, what do I care about this harmless old lady? If she doesn't bother me, let her do what she wants. But 2 weeks ago, I noticed something strange. She always stood practically motionless, but this time, her stillness was too unnatural. There was something strange, even frightening about her appearance. I still saw the same pensioner in front of me, but all my senses were screaming that something was off. Exhausted by uncertainty, I went outside and approached her. Everything in me froze with shock when I was close enough to see properly. Oh, I discovered that a cardboard cutout was standing instead of a real person. What the hell was going on? Who did this and why? These questions worry me to this day. But the next week, the original pensioner returned, and I could breathe a sigh of relief. Like, oh, phew, luckily the real person that stalks me every day is back. I rather prefer a real person staring at me than some kind of cardboard cutout, because, it's kind of scary, But wait, till you hear this plot twist. After her return, pigeons began to sit in strange circles, like the witch's ring that some mushrooms form. No, the plot twist, oh shit! And some of the neighbors suddenly turned white. No, Caucasians, no! Soon, they were all taken away by the riot police, both pigeons and neighbors. It's very strange, isn't it? Okay. Another incident happened on the train while I was going to another city for a meeting of Digger Online fans. If you see a couple of cuts in this video, it's because I keep burping because I have like stomach acid. Is that the right word? Like, you know what I mean? Like when you acid in your stomach is just kind of like acting up and you feel like a burning feeling of pain. Yeah, that's what I'm experiencing right now. There, I had a strange dream that seemed more of a reality. I dreamt that I was going to the dining car to get something to eat in the middle of the night. I was separated from it by a single carriage, in which an hour ago many people were sitting. But now, it was completely empty, although there were no stops to unload them. It puzzled me, but I was more glad that other people's feet weren't sticking out in the aisle. But when I reached the dining car, the situation took a surreal turn. Oh my god! No! Instead of people, creatures of an unknown species, resembling multicolored octopuses, not octopi, sat everywhere. Oh no, they were hungry. Their tentacles wriggled, making clicking and crackling noises. It was as though they were communicating. They communicated exactly until they noticed me. They froze momentarily, and their eyes, with vertical pupils that you can definitely see in this drawing, stared at me. Many eyes. My mind became clouded, and I don't remember how the dream ended. I woke up and didn't sleep a wink the rest of the way, let alone left my seat. And the moon, it's been brighter than usual. Oh no, that's like 10 years of bad luck. What if Granddad is right? What if there really is something sinister going on in the city? Reptiloids, aliens. It's hard to believe such things, but I can't ignore all the strange occurrences around me. What should I do? Hey, Shawarma fell out of my pocket. No! Dogs! Stray dogs! Just as I picked it up, I suddenly noticed stray dogs. Oh no, and you can see that this one is quite hungry. He's giving me the side eye. They were looking right at me, or rather, at the shawarma. Damn it! I'm sorry. Okay. I jump on my bike and sprint forward while the dogs rush after me. I gotta keep running, despite the fact that I was pedaling as hard as I could. I gotta start biking. The cute yet scary looking nuts didn't think to lag behind. I could keep going at this speed for a long time. But there's a problem. The shawarma kept falling out. The hungry dogs began to close the gap. One of them kept trying to catch the shawarma in its salivating jaw. Get off me! I was ready to fight till the end, but I was far from being superhuman, and after a while, my legs were ready to fall off. It seemed that nothing could save me, when suddenly... Yo! Dude, this goes hard. This is crazy. That's so... I'm sorry. This is banger. Well, you can only listen to it if there's no copyright, of course, but... A flock of pigeons flew at the dogs. Fight! There were so many pigeons that the flea-ridden canines had to retreat. I didn't tempt fate to shake each pigeon's shriveled little leg in thanks, and instead hurry out of there. What the hell was that? Why did the pigeons suddenly attack the dogs? Maybe they just got tired of the loud barking that echoed throughout the neighborhood. Who the hell knows? Shit! But what about the shawarma? Oh, phew. It's still here. Only by some miracle it didn't fall out of my pocket. Again. The chase took too much energy. It would be nice to have something to eat. I can't eat the shawarma. I know one is a gift, but 21 is my darn lucky number, and I'll keep it that way. No, I can't. It's part of the customer's order. Oh, look how happy he is, him. He finally got a good order. Here's the house I need to deliver the food. Here's the house I need to deliver food to. It felt like it took forever to get here. I'm sorry, my phone keeps going off. Oh. Yeah. Small victories add color to life, and the feeling of imminent success even made me forget about the pain in my legs for a while. The place is terrible. Even with a navigator, it is quite difficult to find it. The yard is a real garbage dump, and not to mention the building looks like it's about to collapse. Of course, the shawarma fell out of my pocket. Again. God, this place made me feel uncomfortable. In tense moments, it usually helps me to chat with others. I'm actually quite an outgoing person. Wait, hold on. I'm actually quite an outgoing person. You can get a lot of interesting ideas from talking to people, and extraordinary people have always inspired me. I kind of borrow my throat with like talking this much. Even with that granddad, we could have had an interesting dialogue. If I had more time, and he had less impertinence. So now, wait, before I continue, just like put the definition of impertinence so I can, learn it while editing. Thank you, editing me. I got your back, fam. So now, I decided to look around for someone to talk to. If there are any people here, of course. Oh, that's a pretty girl out for a smoke. At least something around here is normal. I'm sorry, man. Every time I keep reading the sentences, sometimes it just feels like I'm having a stroke. Because I think it said like, at least someone here is normal, or but fine. I think I'll talk to her while I have time. Hey, that looks like almost like the exact girl, same girl from she looks the exact same as the cashier is what I wanted to say. Yes. Hey. Hi. Don't many people live here? It's only at first glance. Huh, maybe. I got a very large order for shawarma. You need to get this to apartment 17, don't you? Yes. And you're out of luck. Why is that? I've been watching this gang for months now, and I can say with absolute certainty that something is wrong with them. Ever since they settled here, pigeons have been flying around the place. Wait, I must have come. Hold on, sorry. Some white substance is constantly spilling. No, wait, it's not even saying spilling. Okay. I'm going to read the way the game wrote it, okay? Some white substance is constantly spilled near the door, and then there are some unearthly mantras heard from the toilets every night. I wake up every now and then because of strange yelling, and that's not all. It would take more than an hour to tell you about all the strange things that happen here. I see. It all sounds scary, and those weird yells. Okay. On the other hand, maybe she's exaggerating and maybe she's exaggerating and she just has noisy neighbors that she's sick of. Maybe that's why she makes him out to be crazy. You may not believe me, but if you go there, I can't guarantee you'll make out of it alive. A job is a job, and I have to do it. I don't believe what I'm saying anymore. Then come on in. I'm just about done. The girl threw out her finished cigarette, and we went into the building together. I live on the 4th floor. You have to go to the 5th. Suddenly, the light in the stairwell went out. How often does this happen here? Not often, but usually after the obscurity of the neighbors have Okay, sorry. Not often, but usually after the obscurity. Yeah, after the obscurity of the neighbors have reached an extraordinary level. Still sure you want to go there? We reached the fourth floor. The girl stopped and looked at me expectantly. Hell, what if all these rumors are true? Granddad's words, the strangest stories, and all the things I saw with my own eyes. What if I really do fall into some creepy trap? Wouldn't it be better to leave before it's too late? No. No, I can't. I was complaining. I complained about not having enough orders, but not getting enough money. I gotta do this. I don't think trusting her is a good idea. What she said sounded more like the ravings of a crazy person. Besides, I absolutely have to complete this order. After all, it could prove fateful. Not to mention the big fine if I don't do it. A job is a job. I didn't come all this way for nothing. As you wish. The stranger disappeared behind the door, and I ran up to the next floor. I reached the right apartment. Well, the story is finally coming to a close. No! The door was opened by a girl. I couldn't help but notice what was going on behind her. People were looking out from around corners with interest, coming closer, looking at me with a kind of predatory curiosity. How many of them are there? Here's your order. She gave me a very strange look and then yelled, Guys, dinner's here. Ah! Someone's strong hand grabbed me and pulled me inside. The door slammed shut. Only a lonely wrinkled shawarma was left lying on the doorstep. Dead end. No! No! To be continued. No! Oh. And that was it. Oh man, it's just bad that I love things like this. Oh man. There was another game that I played. I have recorded, but I didn't post it because I felt too awkward on the camera. Dude, is it bad that I love games like this? Like just stupid games with stupid like dialogue. And even though it's kind of like badly translated, and not to blame the developer, of course, yeah, that's more to the story, right? Alright, so I've been recording for like more than half an hour. But I don't want to stop right here. So what I'm gonna do is... yeah, I'm gonna pause the recording here. I'm just gonna see if I can go back and maybe do some different dialogue options. Well, I mean, I said I'm gonna pause the recording. I mean, I have two OBS open to a different scene. So for me, it's gonna be cutting and, you know, cutting and snipping. For you guys, it's gonna be like 5 seconds. Well, I mean, like a second. I should just really shut up. Alright, here we go. Well, I gotta be honest. I just pressed the skip button and it immediately just brought me here. Wait, hold on. It immediately brought me here. There we go. So yeah, that was awkward. Anyway, so this is the part where, you know, the granddad was like, "Oh, you boy, you ought to get and I bet you that the aliens are getting us, and you know, that guy." So instead of, you know, just being quiet grabbing the shawarma like we did last time, we're gonna show Granddad where the crayfish spent the winter. The old man is too annoying with his buzzing about conspiracy theories, but responding rudely to him was a bad decision. Roman is now one of the ingredients for shawarma in this bar. Dead end? What? To be wait, but it still put me to like the dead end to be continued. So does this mean that I didn't finish the story? Alright, I'm just gonna show you guys how fast it was, alright? Check this. You see the skip button right here? Then we're gonna silently pick up the shawarma and then we get... Okay, so last time we didn't eat the shawarma because, you know, we had the epic fight off with the pigeons and the canines, and we were like, oh, my stomach grumbling, but we were We were. Oh, I had the word in my mind, but I forgot it. We were staying strong and we want to complete the order, you know? So this time, we're gonna eat the shawarma. I looked at the shawarma. Even though it was all crumpled and the sauce was leaking in places, I still had a desire to eat it. I have no choice. After all, there's 20 more left. When the customer notices it's missing, I'll be far away. I unpacked the shawarma and took a bite. No! No! Instead of the usual stuffing, something dark and incomprehensible was looking at me from the inside. It was staring, 2 orange eyes on a small blue head. What the hell? Instead of shawarma, I had a pigeon wrapped in pita bread. The bird broke free and flew away as the pita fell to the ground. I'm sorry, I can't act like what's happening? My whole life and universe flew before my eyes, along with that pigeon. The words of the old lunatic from the bar began to echo in my head. How could I be so blind? After that, there was no doubt. I had to escape. It doesn't matter where, just as long as it's far away from here, to Siberia. In half an hour, I was already at the border of Samara. The road ahead was not an easy one. The shawarmas in my bag should last me a long time. By the time it's over, I'll be safe. The first thing I'll need is that Granddad's number. He may be my only ally in this crazy world. To be continued. Well, it's like a whole different ending. What the fuck? That was so sick. What was happening? Why am I loving this game? Yo, hold on. Okay, let's skip. Skip again. Skip again. Don't eat. Skip again. Okay, so we completed the order last time and then we got eaten. So now we're gonna go with the stranger. You're right. Something bad is going on here. I'm going to get out of here while I still have my legs. I turned around to leave, but the slam of the entryway door made me freeze in place. There were 2 pairs of footsteps on the stairs. The unknown persons were talking, and the only word I could make out was shawarma. Damn, you're too late. It's one of their gang. What do I do? You can hide at my place. Hurry up. We went to the apartment, and the girl immediately closed the door, securing each lock one by one. Lena! Roman! Nice. Circumstances are strange, but... Nice to meet you. Huh, the same. We took off our shoes, threw off our jackets, and then we jacked up and went into the kitchen. Lena was hospitable and immediately made us tea. How long do we have to sit here? There was a noise coming from above, as if a crowd of people were dancing right over our heads. Along with the stomping, there were chants that grew quieter and then turned into an outright yell. Now, I understood what the girl was talking about. Oh wait, he asked how long they were, right? Hold on. Oh wait, I'm sorry, wait, hold on. How long do I have to sit here? Oh, yeah. Till morning, most likely. But if things go wrong, with this supply of shawarma, we could be here for a long time. I laughed. Despite everything, I felt safe now. Dude, I can't talk, man. So, tell me about yourself. Where to start? I studied to be a philosopher. Then I went to work as a courier. It may not sound very cool, but it was only for a while. It was? Only for a while? But you're still working as a courier! Dude, use your brain, Roman! Oh, I even started writing a book. So far it's mostly notes on my phone, but still. While I was talking, I looked around. The kitchen was quite cozy, despite the slight clutter. There was a pizza box next to the sink, and there were tea bags and a few candles scattered on the table. Among the flower pots on the windowsill, there were some packages of pills, a roll of rope, a whip, A gag? What the? The girl I was talking to realized that it was her turn to tell me about herself. Strange rumors in this building are not just about my neighbors. She smiled slyly, and I felt uncomfortable. What a mess I'm in. I don't know what's worse, getting caught by cultists or a crazy BDSM fan. Hey, it depends what you're into, man. Like, I know that at least some people would have wished they were Roman in the situation. Well, I mean, I want to do this, but my hands didn't connect, so now I look like a fucking idiot. There was a heaviness all over my body. I tried to get up, but my arms and legs wouldn't listen to me anymore. She put pills in the drink. No! I looked at the cup. Now I realized what a strange taste the tea had. Somewhere in the hallway, the shawarma from my jacket lay pathetically. Damn, how dizzy. I watched helplessly as Lena took off my shirt and began to tie my body with rope. She kept saying something, but I wasn't listening anymore. The dancing and banter of the neighbors, meanwhile, had reached their peak. They're totally freaking out in there. It felt like the ceiling was about to collapse on our heads. No! They're really going wild today. Even the walls are wobbly. This was really happening. This whole house was groaning and shaking, the pipes howling like a pack of dogs chasing shawarma. Great. I'm double trapped, and all I can do is watch. No! They're coming! They're coming! What's that? Is there really some kind of white liquid coming out of the pipes? We haven't even started the BDSM yet, and I'm already excited. Judging by the sounds, the neighbors began to panic. Lena stopped tying me up and turned her attention to the increasing flood. Crap! They pumped that shit all over the place. The pipes finally burst. The white substance, yeah, gushing out of all the cracks and crevices that rapidly covered the walls. The wild thundering sound made my ears prick up. Before the building collapsed, I managed to look out the window. A huge yellow moon was shining in the ominous red sky. So, let me get this straight, okay? We're Courier. We're delivering shawarma, right? We're getting chased by dogs. Then a flock of pigeons starts fighting with the dogs. Then we're like following this chick in an apartment, talking about some cult stuff. She drugged me, tried to do BDSM stuff, and then we just got cummed over. I'm loving it, dude. Alright, and I think that's all. Alright guys, that was Bring Me That Shawarma. I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, like the video if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to. And I'm gonna continue this series. I know it might be like a stupid game and it might not be for everyone, but I genuinely love just like the writing and the stuff that's happening. So next time we're gonna continue here because there's Bring Me That Shawarma 2, there's White Blood, we got Doner Kebab, and we got the newer translated one, Who Stole My Sauce. So we're gonna continue this all next time. And well, I forgot I already did the outro. So yeah, fuck me I guess. Bye bye.